analog creates a certain amount of density, okay? So if the production ideas are already very dense, analog can tend to like saturate to the point where you don't have as much separation and clarity. So, you know, you can't really make a general rule, particularly audio analog tape. I mean, people come in here frequently and will say, we want to get that analog sound, we couldn't afford tape. Is there a way you can bounce it to tape and then bounce it back to digital? I say, well, it's very easy to do that, but I just want to warn you, it's not always, doesn't always work as well as just running it through some, for instance, my analog tube amplifier. So we'll do one that way. It's an experimental thing, you know. You just really never know. I did an album 2 weeks ago, which was, for want of it was kind of like a pop dance album, and it had very, very percussive kind of electronic drums, and they just didn't sound good. The analog slowed them up. They got smeary and slowed up. Or if I kept it digital, everything stayed punchy and clear. Now it was a little bit bright. I would have liked it if it was a little richer, but musically it worked better to have that kind of very pingy sound. So you know, we have enough. I have enough digital gear, enough digital processing that I can do it that way too. So there's so many decisions that you have to make kind of on the fly to try to figure out what to do. And if you have the time, you know, on a project like that one, I took 2 or 3 songs and I tried it analog. I tried it digital, and even though I love analog, on that project analog was not good, and I didn't use the analog at all. Maybe there was one song later in the sequence, because there were multiple producers. I think there was one song I listened to it and I went like, no, this one, the analog will help. So, but it's a great thing to have. I mean, this is one of the things where I try to be as open-minded as I can about home mastering and plug-in mastering and everything, but I gotta say, you at least owe it to yourself when you're trying to enhance a project to at least see what the analog channel, the analog chain can do to enhance the project. Not always going to work, but I say, you know, at least 50 to 70% of the time, I have much better results with the analog.